Go ahead, Anuj.
Hi, my name is Anuj, and I have with me Sumanto. We are a team of two who are working on a project where our aim is to basically suggest the restaurants based on the specific cuisine. Earlier, the scope of the project was to basically suggest restaurants using a dish, but due to time constraints and learning curve, we narrowed down the scope to the cuisine. Now, Sumanta would walk us through the code and the functionality of the whole project.
Thanks, Anuj.
Sumanta.
Yeah, thanks, Anuj. Hi, all. So, quickly going over the functionality of the tool that we tried creating. So, this is, as Anuj mentioned, this is basically to create a tool to suggest the best restaurants available in a particular area, given the user gives or inputs a particular cuisine. The dataset that we have used is from Kaggle. That dataset is originally a JSON dataset which contained 100 comments per restaurant from TripAdvisor. We have used an external online tool to convert that into CSV, and we have used this CSV as our input to the application that we have developed. Uh, Quickly going over the dataset, this has got around 150 restaurants from the Bay Area, and each of these restaurants contains 100 comments per line. So we will use this and then start with our application. So in this application, we have mainly used pandas to manipulate the data set as data frame and play around with that. Along with that, we have used the analytic and sklearn to create the models and do the vectorization and come up with all the features. So to start with, I will go over a run that we have done for the Indian cuisine. In this one, the user is expected to input a cuisine wherein we have given the input as Indian. In this case, the number of restaurants. Before that, in this particular block, this is a user-defined functions that we have created to remove all the stop words in English and the punctuation, which we will be using later. Here it's only the definition. Below that, we have imported the actual CSV, and the shape suggests that there are 147 rows, which is the number of restaurants, and number of columns is 617, because there are 100 comments, and each comment contains other attributes like comment title and the review URL and other information. So there are total 617 columns in that. Now, in this block, we have filtered out only those restaurants that are specific to the comment to the cuisine that user has inserted. So in this case, we have fetched 7 restaurants which has Indian as the cuisine. The Indian cuisine is basically either mentioned in cuisine 0 or cuisine 1 until cuisine 4. So the way that data is set up is it has different columns to suggest the cuisine. So we have considered everything and then fetched all the restaurants for Indian cuisine. Now, in those we have total 700 comments because the reviews because of the 7 restaurants containing 100 each. So we have fetched all the reviews only in one of the new data frame. Similarly, we have also fetched all the ratings per review in another data frame. So these will be acting as our X and Y's later. Now, with that, we have set all the reviews, available reviews for Indian cuisine in X and all the ratings in Y. Now we have started vectorizing it using bag of words. In the bag of word transformer, we have actually passed all our text to the user-defined function mentioned above, which removed all the stop words and punctuation, and it actually returned back all the individual unique words available in all those comments, which is 5087 in this case. Now we are trying to create a model that will fit our X. So this is where we are doing that. Post that, we have tried getting some details around how our model is shaping up. So this has got all the spare matrix. This means how many of the comments has which all words available and which all are missing in those. So this is how this shape of matrix, spare matrix, comes up. Now in this one, we have tried splitting all the reviews into our uh, into how many train how much of those percentage will be for the train data and how much for the test. So in the train we have used 75% of it, so this test has become 0.25. 70%, 75% of the reviews we have used to train our model. Post that, we have used multinomial naive Bayes because that is the best fit for text analysis as per some of the suggestive readings. So we have tried using the multinomial naive Bayes to train the model. Now, once we have done this, this is where we tried creating some classification reports and figure out how the precision looks like and how the recalls look like and stuff like that. Below that, we have in this case we have defined a function which will accept all the reviews and pass it through the model that we recently created and come back with the trained rating. So this is where this is the function that we are going to use by passing all the comments of a particular restaurant, and in turn we will expect a rating back based on the model that we have generated. So this is where in this section we are creating another column which is the calculated rating for the existing data frame and passing all the comments for that restaurant into the above function, and that function comes back with the calculated rating, which is basically the rating suggested by the model that we have generated. And this model, as mentioned above, is based on all the reviews that are available along with the ratings. Now, once we are able to generate this, our task was, or our aim was, to only suggest those restaurants which has got the highest rating, which is 5. So we have filtered out our above result set to only filter out the restaurants which have the 5 rating. In this case, out of 7 Indian restaurants, there are only 3 that has got 5 rating from our model. Now, we have dropped different other the various columns that we have and just kept the restaurant name as a final output along with the rating. So this is our final output, wherein we have all the restaurants that have been suggested by our model by training the model using bag of word representation and using multinomial naive Bayes. The model has come back with only 3 restaurants among the 7 which has 5 rating, and that is what our tool suggests for a user looking for an Indian cuisine in the Bay Area. So yeah, here is the one of the examples, and this can be run for any of the cuisine, and accordingly it can suggest a subset of all the restaurants with the best possible rating. So this is how our existing tool works. We have certain enhancements, future enhancements that we are looking for which Anuj can give some highlights on that. Over to you, Anuj.
Sure, thanks, Sumanto. So as we said earlier, our original scope was to search by dishes, not by cuisine. So that is definitely one of the big enhancements. We would look for to search by dishes and then give the list of restaurants based on ratings. Another enhancement possible to this tool is location, that rather than having a static data set, it's based on the location, geolocation, that is integrated into the whole code, and then we can search the nearby restaurants. In addition to that, we would definitely like to put a nice interface to the whole application and the tool. So what we have done is like one of the core aspects of the whole project, but some more work can definitely be done to make it much better. Thank you for listening to us, and If there is something, please do let us know. Anything you want to
Uh,
add, Sumanto?
No, Anuj, thanks a lot for giving out the details. And as Anuj mentioned, we really look forward to feedback and the scope of enhancing these other than what we have already thought of. We are open to suggestions and hope this tool will become a good one for future use. Thanks.